Oh yeah. How's it going, everybody? Texas Man here. I hope you guys are all having a fabulous day. Please give this video a thumbs up if you guys really enjoy it. Subscribe if you guys have not already. Also, do me the biggest favor of all, hit the bell notification button so you guys don't miss out on future videos or streams here on the channel. And with that, of course, we're going to be continuing on reading through the Chronicles of Unit 4-3, the Universal War. This is part 2. If you guys haven't had a chance to check out part 1, make sure you guys do that before you guys continue on in this video. Also, highly encourage you guys to head over to Twitch. Follow me for free at capital DOUGLAS. That's Douglas 447. Douglas 447 is my Twitch channel, and I do stream from there a lot. So make sure you guys head over there, follow me, so you guys don't miss out on those. And if you guys are reading with me, we're going to be picking up. We have chapter 3, the meetings, and we will be finishing the book. This one's really short, so we'll be reading through chapter 3, the meetings, chapter 4, first strike, chapter 5, father versus son, and then the last chapter, the battle continues, and that will end the Chronicles Unit 4, the Universal War, part 2, and the book completely. And then the next book we will be reading is the Chronicles of Unit 4, The Core Arises, so look forward to that coming out in the future. With that, I hope you guys enjoy. Chapter 3, The Meetings. Sir, I have Cassandra on radar, said Phil. Do you know what Cassandra is like? Asked Douglas to Tilk. Yes, the planet is one large ball of water with one platform city, and it is the GRG base planet, said Tilk. Phil, plot a course immediately, said Douglas, starting to cry for Dale's death. Not really. Dale can die. Unit 4 had entered Cassandra's atmosphere, seeing that this planet truly was nothing but a gigantic ball of water, with waves 60 feet high and lightning bolts everywhere. Unidentified aircraft, land your ship or prepare to be fired upon, said a voice over the MT-6 D-81 speakers. Tilk looked outside a window to see a squad of 10 fighters. Those guys won't mess around, said Tilk. Land the ship, said Douglas. The ship landed on a platform, and the team loaded up on blaster rifles and lightsabers. A door opened on the MT-6 D-81, allowing Unit 4 to step outside to be greeted with humans pointing guns at their heads. Who are you? And why are you four here? Asked a man, which appeared to be a general. This is Phil Abbey, Paul Woodson, and Douglas Armstrong, said Tilk. The men lowered their guns, and the team shook hands with General Crypte, leader of the GRG and of Cassandra. Tilk explained that they ventured to Earth to learn about Octopunny, traveled here to refuel, and wanted to know what they wanted to help defeat Octopunny. We will help you with your ship and defeat Octopunny, said General Crypte. While the MT-6 was being fueled, the general showed Unit 4 the GRG base. They had invented fighters called TI-84s, with multiple cannons, and large spaceships called 900 MILs that could carry an army large enough to conquer a planet. I have just received word that your ship is fueled and prepared to leave, said the general. Unit 4 left Cassandra and journeyed to Earth 2, passing by Act Puncan, Actor Desander, and Cuffetording. Days later. Unit 4 packed their belongings for the airplane trip to Walt Disney World in Florida. 3 hours later. Unit 4 was now currently on the plane that was taking them to Walt Disney World. This is the pilot. Please prepare for the plane to crash, said the airplane pilot over the speakers. The passengers, including the team, were confused because they were about to land. The passengers put on their air masks and prepared and braced for the impact. 2 minutes later. Unit 4 landed the MT-6 D-81 and was given a tour. Whoa. Okay, never mind. I skipped 2 pages ahead. 2 minutes later. Is everyone okay? Asked the pilot. The pilot froze, for only he and Unit 4 were aboard the plane. What happened? And where is everyone else? Asked the pilot. We want to know that also, said Douglas. Unit 4 and the pilot searched the rest of the plane, finding out no one else was on board. Maybe that flash of light had something to do with the passengers, said Tilk. I think we should search this place we've crashed and find help, said the pilot. The group of 5 humans agreed and began the search for help. I wonder where we are, said Phil. It looks as if we're on an island on Earth 2, said Paul. Suddenly, Unit 4 and the pilot were shot by sleeping darts. Minutes later. Unit 4 and the pilot awoke to be trapped inside of an electronic cell. Who are these people? Asked the pilot. They're Coltons, said a voice. Out of the dark came a man with features much like Douglas. Hello, Unit 4, and the pilot of that plane, said the man. Who are you? Take off the cloak, said Douglas. I'm your father, said Mr. Dave. You're an evil leader too? Asked Douglas. Yes, I am in semi-control of the Colton army, said Mr. Dave. We're out of here, said Tilk. What? Asked Douglas. Tilk opened his jacket, revealing a remote, and pressed a button on the remote. Zoom! Unit 4 and the pilot disappeared from Dave and the Colton site. Inform Octopunny that his trap failed, said Dave. Location, 53N OT4 base. What happened? Asked Phil. I invented a tool that informed me that our plane had hit a large pocket of turbulence that caused the plane to react as if we were going to crash, said Tilk. All I did was create a flash of light that picked certain people to stay on the plane and be transported to a strange island, said Tilk. Sadly, I don't know what happened with the others, said Tilk. This remote allows me to press this button and transport 5 people to any location in the universe, said Tilk. Where did you get that from? Asked Douglas. I stole it on Earth so I could make a quick getaway if needed, said Tilk. Why didn't you use it when we left? You could have saved Dale from being dead, said Douglas, getting upset. I'm sorry, but I wasn't thinking about that device at the time, replied Tilk. Why didn't we use it to take us to Walt Disney World faster? Asked Paul. I wanted to experience the feeling of being inside of an airplane for the first time, said Tilk. The team laughed, yet Douglas was not happy that Tilk had a device that could have saved his friend from death. Chapter 4. First Strike. Unit 4 was traveling to the planet Octopuncan, a forest planet where General Crypte of the GRG had finished constructing a shield generator station that would protect every planet in the universe from annihilation. 2 minutes later. Unit 4 landed the MT-6 D-81 and was given a tour of the station by their good old friend, General Crypte. Do you have any idea of when Octopunny and my father will strike a planet? Asked Douglas to the general. Sir, our radar has spotted enemy warships coming towards us from Earth, and they are going around Sector 21 to avoid the black hole, said a human rebel, using earpiece technology. Humans make up the remaining GRG, by the way. Unit 4 and the general stopped the tour and ran to the radar room. Location, the radar room. What planets will they have to pass before their ship's cannons are in range of this station? Asked Douglas. They'll have to pass Mars and go between Martor and Pololaic, said a human. What's the deadline until they reach this station? Asked the general. We have less than 9 hours until Octopunny's SMV-89's warships and RD-46's fighters are in range of this station, said a human. General Crypte, allow my team to leave and come back with Earth 2's army and other special teams to help, said Douglas. While I defend this station against Octopunny's army of 1 trillion Colton soldiers with only a handful of humans? Asked the general. Yes, and if we are lucky, we'll be back before the fireworks are started, said Douglas. You better move fast, said the general. Unit 4 loaded the MT-6 D-81 and headed for Earth 2. 5 hours later. Unit 4 had already gained support from President Adam, which gave Unit 4 every single soldier under Douglas's control. Unit 4 also learned that the President had built 100 warships that he called T-6D2s. Douglas told his army to prepare to depart from their home planet and venture to Octopuncan. 5 hours later. Unit 4 and Douglas's army arrived at Octopuncan only to see asteroids. We are too late, said Phil, on board the MT-6 D-81 with the rest of Unit 4. I want to kill my father and Octopunny so much right now. I would chop their heads off if they were here right now, said Douglas. Sir, we've got an incoming transmission, said Tilk. Put it on speaker, said Douglas. Douglas, is that you and your army? Asked the voice. Yes, and is that you, General Crypte? Replied Douglas. Yes, said the voice. Once the general boarded the MT-6 D-81 from his TI-84 fighter, the team began to question the general. I have some good news and bad news, said the general. The good news is we destroyed more than half of Octopunny's fleet, reducing his numbers to 7,000 Coltons. The bad news is Octopunny destroyed the station and the planet Octapuncan, said the general. I also know Octapunny and Mr. Dave plan to destroy the planets Cassando and Earth 2. Plus, they want to eliminate the GRG and the four of you, said the general. Which planet are they going towards first? Asked Douglas. The SMV-89s are moving closer towards Earth 2, said the general. Tilk, inform the fleet that they're going home. Paul, call the fleet at Cassando for more warships to help defend Earth 2, said Douglas. We can't allow Octapunny and my father to destroy Earth 2, because if they do, all the other planets will not be a challenge, said Douglas. Chapter 5. Father versus Son. 6 hours later. President Adam, I'm giving command of the ground forces to Paul Woodson, said Douglas. Good luck with your 2,100 warships and troops, said the president. Within 1 hour, the GRG warships could clearly see the onslaughting army coming to Earth 2. Put me on the speaker system over all the 900 MILs, TI-84s, T-6D2s, and Earth, said Douglas. You're good to go, said Tilk. Douglas gave this speech before the fight began. Today we will be fighting for survival to defend our planet and to continue the human race. We will also be fighting to end this war with the elimination of Octapunny and Mr. Dave. In less than 15 minutes you'll be engaged in one of our planet's worst battles ever imagined. No matter the outcome, we, the GRG, we will fight until there's none of us left alive. You know your duty, so do it, and do it to the best of your ability. Begun the end of the Universal War has. 10 minutes later. Location, the leader's SMV-89. Sir, we are less than 15 minutes from being in firing range of the GRG fleet, said the Colton captain, which killed Dale. Mr. Dave, would you give the order to fire when in range? Asked Octapunny. You got it, said Mr. Dave. 2 minutes later. So what is the plan? Asked Tilk. While you pilot the MT-6D-81 and command the fleet, Phil and I will take TI-84s to board the ship that my father and Octapunny are on and kill them both, said Douglas. Then the Colton army will surrender once their leaders are dead, said Phil. 3 minutes later. The end of the Universal War. Sir, we are in range, said the Colton captain. Open fire and kill them all, said Mr. Dave. All warships and fighters, open fire, said Douglas. Octapunny launched his transporter ships to Earth 2, sending 2,000 Coltons to begin the ground invasion, after eliminating all the GRG soldiers. All kinds of missiles were flying throughout space, which resulted in one warship being destroyed in 50 seconds. Phil, follow me. I have found the leader's SMV-89, said Douglas in his TI-84 fighter. Location, Earth 2. The transporters landed near the White House, which meant the GRG soldiers had to win and not allow the president to be killed. Douglas, you better kill those two evil leaders, because we aren't doing so well, said Paul, commanding the ground forces. Location, space. Douglas and Phil had safely landed in the leader's SMV-89, not hearing Paul's cry for help. I found an elevator, said Phil. Hey, General Crypte, what level is the bridge on and how's my army? Asked Douglas, using his earpiece. The bridge is on level 6, and I'm sorry to say that the MT-6D-81 was shot down and crashed into the SMV-89 that was launching Colton transporters, said the general. You mean Tilk is dead? Asked Douglas. Yes, said General Crypte. Douglas and Phil boarded the elevator and pressed the button with the number 6. Location, Earth 2. General Crypte, I need something to bomb the enemy, said Paul. I'll send 3 TI-84s, but that's it, said the general. Thanks for the help, said Paul. With the destruction of the Colton SMV-89 that was launching transporters, the Colton army only had 6,000 versus the 6,500 GRG. Location, SMV-89. Douglas and Phil stepped out of the elevator and began slashing every Colton in sight, including the Colton captain. Look out, said Phil. Octapunny jumped into midair and almost chopped off Douglas's head with his double-sided red lightsaber. Where's my father? Asked Douglas. I'm over here, said Mr. Dave, with his 2 red lightsabers. Surrender or die, said Octapunny. Douglas began to laugh. What's so funny? Asked Mr. Dave. Your army of 6,000 Coltons that invaded Earth has been defeated, said Douglas. How would you know that? Asked Octapunny. I have an earpiece that allows me to communicate with my army, said Douglas. Surrender or die, said Octopunny again. Douglas and Phil jumped into midair and began a lightsaber duel with Phil battling Octopunny while Douglas battled his father, Mr. Dave. Octopunny attacked, but Phil kicked Octopunny in the butt. Octopunny slowed down, yet was still able to fight. Phil jumped in midair, and just when he was about to stab Octopunny in the back, the eyeballed man turned around and took Phil's legs off. No! Yelled Douglas. Clang, clang is what the sound was like when the lightsabers touched each other. I don't want to kill you, said Douglas. Then allow me to kill you instead, said Mr. Dave. Clang, clang! Never, said Douglas. Then I'll eliminate you just like I did your mother, said Mr. Dave. I thought my mom died because of brain cancer, said Douglas. I lied. I killed her, said Mr. Dave. Clang, cling, dong, clang! Kill him, my friend, said Octopunny, watching the son verse his father. Douglas kicked his father in the wrong places, resulting in his father falling to the ground. You're not my father anymore, said Douglas, before stabbing his father in the head with his green lightsaber. Kabang! Douglas turned around to see that Octopunny was about to stab him. Octopunny fell to the ground, revealing that Phil shot Octopunny in the head with a blaster rifle. We did it, said Douglas, comforting his friend. Douglas, leave me. It stopped the Colton fleet, said Phil, before closing his eyes. Douglas found the comm and informed the Colton fleet that both of their leaders were dead and to surrender. All the SMV-89s and RD-46s returned to Earth, where General Crypte destroyed the planet using an A missile. When General Crypte destroyed Earth, with every Colton on the planet, the Universal War was finished, and the power struggle with Octopunny and Mr. Dave was over. Chapter 6. The battle continues. 11 hours later. Phil never made it to the hospitals on Earth 2. He died for the freedom of a world that he had only begun to explore. Phil's body was transported to the remains of Earth 2 to serve as a memory of the deaths for the past, present, and future wars for the planet Earth 2 and the rest of the universe. Paul moved to Ohio, where he bought Cedar Point, and married General Crypte. Paul moved to Ohio, where he bought Cedar Point, and married. Period. General Crypte became the president since President Adams shot himself because of the belief that the GRG would lose the war. Crypte ordered all GRG forces on Cassando to move to Earth 2. Douglas moved in with his grandma Jean until he was 18 and moved to Ohio, where he became the head manager of Cedar Point under Paul. Douglas eventually bought Walt Disney World in Florida and left his job at Cedar Point. Paul and I keep in touch with one another and hope that in the future that the universal peace that has been established will remain, but all good things come to an end sooner rather than later. To be continued. Alright guys, we did it! We finished the Chronicles of Unifor 3, the Universal War. I will see you guys in the Chronicles of Unifor 4, The Core Rises, coming out very soon. You guys all have an amazing day, and I will see you guys all in the next video.